Hi, and welcome to the Table 501 Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Ahmad.
And I'm Justin.
So, how do we want to start things off today?
We can just talk about what's going on in our lives, how we're feeling, how we're doing.
Anyone want to go first in specifics? Like they
No.
have anything to share, or just kind of go?
Shane, I think you should go first here. I think you should go first.
Nah,
leading the
nothing much
pack.
is. Yeah, so nothing much has changed.
Shane, I think you should go first.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So nothing much has changed in my life. Other than I did build 10 years. I am bipolar when it comes to picking a deck. So now I'm thinking about Crusadia or Dino. But yeah, that's just me. Anyways, anyone else have anything else to say?
Not too much is different in my life. Just getting ready to move to Minnesota for medical school. Trying to not get COVID. Drinking more Clarb Run than ever.
Dude, fucking Clarb Run
Oh, I
slaps.
started playing Ori and the Blind Forest. It's beautiful.
Good game.
Right?
Good game.
It's beautiful.
Play Hollow Knight next if you haven't already.
Shane, I invented Hollow Knight.
We've been through Hollow Knight.
I 100%ed that game. Okay, get the fuck off my case. What about you, Justin?
Not much. I've just been chilling. Getting ready to not move nearly as far as Minnesota. In fact, I'm just moving downstairs. But getting ready for that. Actually, finally back on playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like somewhat consistently.
Yes, sir.
Feels good. It's been like a month since I've actually like played. So
online, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna go
lie.
anywhere.
It's been a while since I even played on Edo, or well, I guess I don't really play on Dueling Book.
Yeah, we don't have locals here still, which is a good thing because COVID is still very real and getting worse. As we said last
Especially
episode,
here.
and as we're gonna say now, wear your masks.
Yeah.
Wear your mask.
Wash your hands.
Stay 6 feet apart from each other.
Social distance.
Don't go outside unless you have to.
Anyway. Oh yeah. Wait, what?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my locals opened up, and I really want to go, but at the same time, I also really don't want to die. So
it's not
cause
worth
the
it.
death of a loved one.
It's not worth
really not worth it. I mean, everyone gets the Yu-Gi-Oh itch to hand shuffle, but
just hand shuffle like while we're doing this.
No, but it's not worth it if you can't show somebody.
Okay, if you're doing it for someone else, you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Anyway, something interesting that happened actually on this day was that Shane and I, 7 years ago today, got my dad to drive me, him, and another friend to nationals in Chicago. And as I talked about in the first episode, that was probably the best and just the coolest Yu-Gi-Oh experience I've ever had because I've never been to an event that big ever since, especially since I left the game right after nationals, basically. But yeah, it was just a really interesting experience. I don't know if you have anything to say about it, Shane.
No, like you said, it honestly is one of the fondest Yu-Gi-Oh memories that I have. It was. I mean, even if we weren't playing, it was just fun to see, the competitive atmosphere along with the casual atmosphere too, because there were side events. They had the voice actor for Pegasus and Kaiba there, was it, or was it you? I don't know. I know the voice actor for Pegasus was there, but no, it was fun. We met up with we actually saw people from our locals there too. It was just fun overall. But yeah, we even met up with your cousin, and we even hung out with a bunch of people from your locals. We kind of stood in the corner trading for a while.
Dude, that was fun. Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
I had a lot of competitive anxiety back then, and I still have competitive anxiety, but I'm able to play through it now. To the point where it was literally crippling, and I couldn't play. I could have played at nationals, I just chose not to. But yeah, and so even though I wasn't playing, trading was super fun, and just getting to sell cards to vendors who were buying things for way higher than a price than
oh my god, the price gouging at that event was oh my god.
Well, I mean,
Is
I was making a profit off of it.
Oh,
Is it still like really hush hush back then, where you weren't allowed to like sell stuff on the premise and stuff like that?
I don't know because I don't know if I sold anything to anyone directly, but I remember that I was able to sell things to vendors for sure.
I don't remember who told me this, but somebody told me a story that like they had like a 70 or their friend had like a $75 card but didn't understand like what was happening, and a guy kept coming up to him and saying like, "Hey man, we should go trade out in the hall, you know? We should definitely go trade out in the hall." And he was like, "No, I because he didn't understand if the guy wanted to buy the card." And ever since then I've just like wanted to know how long that's been a thing
to
where
be
people are like
honest,
really discreet about it.
yeah, he might be onto something because when we did do trading, we went out into the hall. I'm wondering if like I didn't really hear anything about it then, but I did hear stuff
You're
about it
right.
now.
You're right. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
So I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
the people
We
we
did
were
go out
trading
in
with
the
were just like, here,
hall.
follow me. We'll go out to the hall, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because
Oh,
I think only
wow.
vendors are still
Yeah.
allowed to buy and sell cards.
You're right. Yep, 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 yep. Right outside the venue is where we went to go trade
Yeah,
and
we like
sell stuff.
literally
Yep, you're
walked out
right.
the door. There was like a little corner, like
Yep,
well,
yep,
around the
yep.
corner. We're all just kind of
Okay,
chilling
so
there on the carpeted ground. It was really cool, but
okay, so it
yeah.
was probably the same then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Cool. Wow. In any case, it was a very fun event.
Wait, should
I
we
wish
say
I got
where
to
it
stay
was or
the whole.
no?
It was in. I mean, it was in Chicago.
Yeah, it was Navy Pier.
Um,
That's a really cool place if you guys ever have the chance. I mean, I've only
yeah.
been the once when we went to, you know, the YCS there, but
It was
it was
nationals.
pretty
It
fun.
wasn't a YCS. It was nationals.
It was national. Okay, it
It
was
was
nationals.
nationals. But yeah, that was really cool because like my dad just went and did like brown people stuff and did like shopping, and he just left us there. And
I
then when
was
he
gonna
was done
say, didn't your dad like
shopping,
go and meet people too? Like on our way back, he like
I don't remember. I just remember that you slept and I took a picture of you. Well, that was just like a little blast from the past that Facebook notified me of today, and I was like, "Wow, that was awesome."
that was awesome.
In more contemporary news, some new stuff came out. If you want to talk about that, Justin,
Um, where do we want to start here?
we can talk about the Battles of Legend and the great reveal that Mr. Jerome McHale made for us.
Do we have that anywhere?
Oh, I guess we should have got the links ready, but I'm searching it right now. But
Okay.
the Battle's a Legend. It had stuff like Numeron and all that kind of stuff in it.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know too much about the Blah reveal. I was actually excited to use this time to kind of look into it a little bit more.
Sure. Well, um,
I put it in links if you guys want to go look at it.
it introduces fossils from the anime, like the archetype fossils from the anime. It gives
Which
us some
meta
more
breaking.
number cards. Yep. It gives us the Numeron cards, which are going to be really strong since S0 is still a legal card, which, if you don't know what that is, S0 is essentially a monster where once you exceed summon it, on your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can detach a material and it
They
prevents your
can't play the
opponent from
game.
activating cards
Yeah.
or effects for that entire turn. Again, you can imperm it because an effect doesn't do anything until it resolves. Um, but if you don't have that, have fun not playing for a turn. And people are
Yeah.
mashing it up with Eldritch too, just for even more oppressive plays,
Yeah.
which it's a lot. But anyway, so the Numerons are in Battles of Legend Armageddon. We get appliancers, which are just like a cute archetype. I don't know if they were in the anime. I didn't watch Vrains.
Yeah, I didn't. I
Um,
heard they're supposed to be good. At least people from like people are saying, oh, they're good in the OCG. I haven't heard anything about them. I don't really
I
follow the
haven't
OCG.
either. No,
And
me
looking
either.
at them, they all seem really underwhelming.
Yeah, they're all like Link 1s and 2s, so
Yeah.
I can't imagine they do much. They reprinted a bunch of Jump promos, which I'm really excited about. Because 3 of them are solid. Because we have Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon, which was a prize card. And then we have Trishula, Dragon of Icy Imprisonment, which is a great card. And then we
Yeah,
have
that's really
Darkness Metal, the
yeah.
Dragon of Dark Steel, which is also a fantastic card. And then there's the Judgment Dragon one, and then the Dark Armed one, which they're like okay, they're not bad, but they're like
The Judgment
It
Dragon one is
can-
definitely better, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference between the Judgment Dragon one and the Darkness Metal one is. But again, jump promos are always nice to get reprinted because those are hard to get our hands on. And then we get invoked reprints, which I'm very excited about because I don't
Unfortunately,
play
not
invoked.
Makaba.
Yeah, we don't get Mechaba, which sucks, but like whatever. I'm excited about it because it makes a engine that I am planning on helping my girlfriend build much more accessible and cheaper.
Oh, what
For
is she
the
building?
I she has 3 Shaddoll structure decks and 1 Alistair the Invoker with no invocations, so she's kind of like popping off. Um,
Well, no, that's still a pretty good deck. I mean, it doesn't it hard lose. Not it doesn't hard lose, but it struggles against Eldritch, and that's the reason why I kind of fell out, right? But that's
yeah,
meta talk. We'll talk about
everything just
later.
like everything in the meta right now just sort of overshadowed Invoked Shaddoll. But again, she's learning the game, so it's just
Yeah.
something to
No,
help her get off her feet. And it's like it's a pretty straightforward deck to play.
yeah, and
So I'm
also
just excited that
honestly,
this stuff is getting reprinted just because it'll
yeah,
help with
and
costs and
and if
everything.
any of the like current meta decks get hit, Invoked Shaddoll, I feel like is always going to be one of those decks that come out of like this is good now, like
Yeah.
all of a sudden. So,
And
Yeah,
that's what
similar to like
happens. That's what
Dice.
happened with the last format when
exactly,
Spirals got gutted. Shaddoll Invoke just like rose up.
exactly. You want to know
Yeah,
something I'm actually a little excited for in terms of reprints? I mean, it's not like it was expensive or anything
Sure,
at all.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
higher
we
rarity.
can talk about
Say it.
Battles of Legend.
Formant
Yeah.
Skipper.
Okay.
That's not what I was hoping you were gonna say.
I mean, there's a ton of other stuff in here that I'm actually kind of excited about. But
Artifact Sanctum and Medulce Angeli getting reprinted are really good. Because
yeah,
Sanctum was
Sanctum's
so
expensive.
so
good.
nice. Yeah, Sanctum
Sanctum
getting
was
a reprint's
expensive.
nice.
Angeli was expensive. I don't love playing against Medulces, but for the Medulce players out there, all like 2 of you, I'm happy for you. Um, yeah, I think like it's an okay set. They hyped it up a lot, and it was hyped up a lot, honestly.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, by far and away, Numeron is the big draw to the set, and the
Yeah,
reason why
agree.
people are going to
Yeah, I
actually buy the
agree.
set.
I agree.
I don't
It's
know,
just in
dude.
comparison to every other Battles of Legend we've gotten, it's just it's a little underwhelming. It's
Yeah,
disappointing. It's not a set where you go buy a box of it and hope you plus. Like the other Battles of Legend, you're like, oh, dude, can I get the BLS? Oh, can I get the whatever?
yeah,
This, it's like you're not gonna buy this for like trade value or product because there's not too much in it
exactly. I mean,
for
you
trade
get it
value.
in both fossils, Numeron, or Appliancer. But Justin, you were saying something?
Yeah.
I was gonna say like they're reprinting Goyo Defender, and like that card actually works now.
Yeah,
Like, come
yep,
on,
you're right.
I honestly think this is gonna be a meta breaking set.
Shut the fuck up.
No, the set's just okay. It's
It's not
it's
bad.
not bad. It's got some good reprints, but like there's nothing good really.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to talk about jank, I actually am kind of excited. Well, not really excited, but Fireflint Lady it's a pretty cool card for Infernoble Knights.
It's okay.
Yeah. It the Malefic Paradigm Dragon actually gives them a playable Malefic besides Cyber End, but it's Malefic, so
Yeah,
um
that's why I'm laughing.
Ahmed did mention Trishula, the Trishula fusion. But that's really only relevant as long as True King of all calamities is legal. But I mean, I don't know. Isn't Book of Moon getting the ultimate rare reprint or
Well,
something, or not
it's already
ultimate, ultra
reprinted
rare?
well, it's ultimate rare in the OTS packs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's where I read it from. Never
Yeah,
mind.
that's we might see those someday. You might see those.
Other than that, I'm looking at I mean, there's some Blackwing stuff, but that's not good. I mean, it's kind of good. Some
Yeah,
Synchron
I think
stuff is eh.
I think we've really said all we can say about.
Yeah, I mean,
I
O-Line's getting a reprint, but like you said, it's just good at reprints. But yeah,
I guess we can move on to the ever so incredible and believable Gold Series leak.
Yep. I think it's like 99% fake.
yeah,
Do we have it on hand? I just want to.
looking it up right
Um,
now.
Yeah, we can look
I want to
it
look through it
up.
so people can understand. If people haven't seen it, they can understand why it's questionable.
Yeah. I know House of Champs has. Oh, I found it actually. Oh, never mind. Anyway, I know House of Champs has a video on it. Essentially,
Cool.
it's Justin had a good point about why it's most likely fake. Is that there's cards in there that just came out, and this set's supposed to come out in October, and we all know Konami. There's no way they're going to be releasing or reprinting cards that they just released like a month ago, like Moonlit Chill. And I'm looking through the picture now, and I'm trying to find something. But there's banned cards in it, like
Harpy's Feather
Harpy's Feather
Duster.
Duster,
Yeah.
Rusty Bardiche. Don't think that's gonna get unbanned, or don't think that's gonna get reprinted considering they're banned, unless they for some reason would unban them.
I think the biggest nail in the coffin here is the fact that a confirmed card being
Yep.
Appaloosa is nowhere to be seen.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna one up you there and say 2 cards that we know are in this are nowhere to be seen. Stratos and Appaloosa. They're not in the leak at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not in it at all.
I mean, I got a
So-
super like low res image of it. I found an Cole 40 video because that's where I remember seeing it.
We're all looking at that.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it looks. This is definitely fake. What barrier statue, gold
it's too good
reprints,
to be true.
Ghost
This
Girl
set is way
reprints.
too good to
Yeah,
be true.
Droll getting a
fucking
reprint.
trap tricks. I
Imperm again. Like they just reprinted it in March.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I really actually hope they do reprint Imperm.
Budget players, my God.
I want cards that don't cost $30.
I want my cards.
Buy your
baby.
lightning storms
I want
or
my
be quiet.
cards. I want my red reboot off the bat.
I will die on that. That hill is the hill that I will die on. All right.
That's fair. That's fair. Anyway, long story short, we think it's fake. If it's not, I'm happy to eat my words because
Yeah.
this would be a beautiful
I would
set.
love this. This is a beautiful set if
Yep.
it's real. Like
Yep.
the fact that they reprint like Eldritch and Alistair and fucking all the Ghost Girl, great. But it's no.
I
it's
will say
too good to
though,
be true.
a gold rare version like Gold Secret of Blue Eyes Dark Magician, or like the original arts of Blue Eyes Dark Magician and Red Eyes would actually be really fucking cool.
Sure. I agree. And like a gold rare Eldritch would be beautiful.
Oh my god, that would be
Gold rare- oh my
amazing. And I
God.
hate the deck, but that would be beautiful.
I agree.
Did you hate all the control decks?
I do hate all the control
I understand.
decks.
I understand, but like you gotta cool it, man. Anything else to say on the gold series?
Other than it's fake, no.
Well, continuing on with sets coming out, let's talk about Phantom Rage and the 2 archetypes that got announced. So we
And do we
have
have
Data Scrapers and we have what is it called? Tri Brigade. And Justin, would you like to start, or I can talk about Tri Brigade if right now if you want.
You want
I'm-
to go for a Tri Brigade here?
Sure. So Tri Brigade is I love the arts. They're like steampunky, furry for hire cards, sort of.
They kind of reminded me of Zodiac for a minute.
A little bit, yeah. But it's basically just generic beast warrior and winged beast support, which that's pretty good. You know, it's a generic, and they're competent by themselves. And people were talking about, because this archetype has lore connections to Dragma, where Dragma is less of an archetype and more of an engine. And people were saying that this could be very similar in that it's not an archetype, it's an engine. And I feel like this is more archetype-y right now than it is engine-y. But it's a very interesting archetype because they banish beast warrior and or winged beast from their graveyards to special summon beast warrior or winged beast link monsters from your extra deck with a link rating that's equal to the number of the cards you banish. So if you banish 1 winged beast, 1 beast warrior, and 1 winged beast, you're gonna get a link 3 beast warrior or winged beast link monster from your extra deck. I don't know. They seem competent. They seem pretty resilient, and with their traps, I get a little bit of Unchained vibes because one of their traps special summons any number of beast warrior or winged beasts that are banished or in your graveyard. All their effects are negated, and then immediately after the effect resolves, you special summon one Tri-Brigade Lake monsters using only those monsters. Um, so it's just like link summoning on your opponent's turn, which adds more interactivity. And I just think it's a pretty competent archetype from what we see so far. I haven't play tested it at all. The arts are really cool. I've seen some videos of like some of the combos they can do, and they seem pretty consistent. Is it going to be meta? I don't know. A lot of people are saying they are, but a lot of people like to say any archetype that's new and special summons a bunch is meta, which
Yeah.
that's not true. People thought Unchained were going to be the next broken archetype, and they're just fine. They're fine.
We're
Trust
not
me, I
locked into
played it.
fiends.
Yeah.
You
We're
are
not
now
locked
locked
into
into
fiends.
fiends. Justin's got that down pat. And they're a good archetype, but again, they weren't what everyone expected them to be. So yeah, I think Tri Brigade has potential for sure, and I
I
don't
really
think it's
do
going to be
too.
bad. But especially that it's generic beast, wing beast, and beast warrior support, I think that really helps because you can just throw this into Zodiac, you can throw this into Gladiator Beast, you can throw this into Fire Fist. I don't know what the synergies of those may or may not look like, but again, I think this has potential. I love the arts too, which that helps.
Can I just say something that I do think they're going to be meta, but like you just said, and first of all, I want to say I play terrible decks, so my decision whether or not something's going to be meta is very very off. But I just want to say I absolutely hate card design like this. Um, it's just that I don't know. I don't like the generic, like everything is generic. This is going to be slammed into every beast warrior, beast, and wing. Well, no, I guess not every, but it,
You
it.
really think it'll be like in every winged beast strategy?
I don't, but I feel like there's going to be like 2-3 years down the road, Konami's going to release a wing beast or beast warrior or beast archetype. They're going to kind of maybe forget about a Tri Brigade card, and it's going to absolutely destroy the meta or something. See, that's my problem with like generic support, is that Konami has a tendency to either ignore or forget a card that indirectly or directly supports a new archetype coming out, and then it absolutely breaks it. Like um I know this is an extremely old reference, but when Dragon Ruler first came out, first of all, they were a broken archetype to begin with, but it's like they almost forgot or ignored that Super Rejuvenation was a card.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's no different than the current like format.
exactly,
They
exactly.
release Crystron, Hulk Fibrax, Needle Fiber, and they completely forget like, oh right, synchros were busted because of cards like Jet Synchron and other cards that just like recycled themselves.
It wasn't even just because of like Jet Synchron. It was just that at the time synchros were the hottest shit, and then XYZs
Well,
came out,
they
and then
still are like the
yeah,
synchros are still the monster spam like cards. That
yeah.
so
Well,
many
I
of
would say
them
Link
just
is, but I would just say that in order to like to what am I trying to say? To
don't ask me.
counteract the amount of Link like power and other cards that have power, they printed very very strong generic synchro support, which was absolutely fine before Halka Fibrex came out. Because then you had decks like Speedroid or other decks making Crystal Wing synchro or Borreload Savage Dragon, and that was the only like that, and maybe, well, actually no, for the most part that was the only negate you had to deal with, which was hard enough. Now, because of Christian Halka Fibrax, you have and I'm not going to go too far into this because we talked about it before too. But I feel like this is going to be a card that keeps coming up, because I said it before in a previous episode that this is a card that Konami is going to have to keep in mind unless they hit it. This is a card that they're going to have to keep in mind for every synchro, tuner synchro monster, and just straight up main deck tuner monster going forward.
You think that's what Tri Brigade's going to become?
Kind of, to a lesser extent.
Sure.
Because any generic card that special summons from the deck that's in the extra deck is much worse than any generic card in the main deck. Just because that's a spot that you don't have to luck into. That is a card that you can just make pretty much outright. You have to luck into the cards to get into that, but with 3 tuning, 3 jet synchron, or any other, because a lot of archetypes have their spammable tuner. Tenyi has Adhara, I believe. I think is the level one. Ahmad was talking about Dragunity, which we will get into later. But Dragunity has ton of spammable synchros or tuners. It's like I said, it's just a card they're gonna have to keep in mind, which is fine. But I feel like that's gonna hurt design in the future. That being said, I'm also not, part of the Konami design team. So I really, this is just all from an opinion standpoint, from somebody who's very, I don't know. I like to use the term competitively casual, even though that's a terrible term for it. But that's my 2 cents. Sorry for rambling.
No, you're fine. That's fair. Real quick, before I move into the Datascape cards, I want to remind everyone that not only are we getting these 2 new archetypes, but we're getting the Phantom Knights cards.
Yeah, oh, that's true.
Yo, I was going to
Stain
talk
Greaves
about
and
that
Tear
too.
Scale,
Yeah.
which really powerful cards
Yeah.
in the archetype. But let's first talk about the Datascapes.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of toying around with them a little bit, and they're pretty unique. They've all got all the main deck monsters have the same special summon effect, where you target a Datascape card that you control, then you send a card of a different type, whether that be monster, spell, or trap. You send that to the graveyard, then you can special summon it. Then they all have a follow-up effect. One's a searcher, one lets you add from the graveyard to your hand in the end phase. Really good at spamming the board. And the extra deck monsters are pretty unique as well. Shane, have you looked at any of these yet, by the way?
I looked at them sort of, kind of. I don't remember any of their effects. The only thing that I thought when I saw them, and it's really petty, is why are Salamangreat Cyburst and not Pyro, whereas every Datascape card is not Cyburst, even though they all look like they should be Cyburst. It's
Okay,
Bro,
so-
I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, so you have the same thought. Like, they look like what Salamangrates look like. They
Yeah.
literally do. Okay. But in case you're wondering, I'm afraid to say some of these names because I'm just gonna butcher it, but here goes.
Just
They've got
try it. It's fine.
Jan, which is just Macrocosmos. It's just like your Dark Law. You just put this card on the field, and any card that touches the field, once it leaves, it goes straight to the graveyard.
So they have like an in archetype.
Or straight to the banish zone.
It's not Shadow Mist. Oh, I'm blanking on the elemental hero fusion name. Dark Law.
Yeah.
Dark Law.
So they have a Dark Law. Okay. But is it one-sided or is it two-sided?
It's two-sided.
It's two-sided. So it's for both.
two-sided.
So it is, like you said, a
But-
macro. Okay.
Because the deck, a lot of the effects of these cards, especially the spells and traps, banish cards from your graveyard or return them. So the deck runs on graveyard and banishing.
Can I just say something really quick? From the
Sure.
description here, are they all the same archetype? Or not archetype? Are all the same attribute? I mean.
No, half are psychic, half are worm.
No.
Attribute.
So that's the type. I'm talking about like attribute.
Oh yeah. Nope. They're earth and wind mainly.
Okay. But so this is me just trying to splash a bad engine into probably a deck that is going to be pretty damn good. It sounds to me like Nemesis might actually be pretty good in this, because Nemesis shuffles back banish cards in order to special summon the little guys, whereas the big guys banish either 3 different types or 3 different attributes from the graveyard to special themselves, and then they destroy. You know what they do, but I don't know. I feel like as an extender, something like Nemesis Flag, which is decent. It shuffles back a banished monster to special summon itself, and I don't know. With a deck that banishes a lot, it seems like a pretty okay extender. But there are
I
probably
haven't
better
seen
ones
anything
out
with
there.
that. They do have a lot of cohesiveness with Speedroid.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
And Wheel Dealer, or Wheeliter, Weed Dealer, you know the card. Yeah, the Speedroid cards, really strong with it because, especially Terror Top, you just go off.
If that card ever comes back, I know I say this a lot, but I did look into Speedroid. It seemed like it'd be a pretty cool deck to play. I just like the card art for Crystal Wing. It's so nice. It looks so pretty.
A crystal what?
The Synchro Dragon, or the one that negates.
Okay.
Yeah, Crystal Wing Synchro. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that later, but we'll get
yeah.
I just want to.
I'm so happy for you. Like, we'll get into it, but I'm so happy for you, Ahmad.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, so we're talking about Tri Brigade and Datascapers, and I have MBT's stream open right now, and he's literally doing 10-minute testing for Tri Brigade. So, hi MBT in the future. Shout us out.
Yeah, well, it's only a matter of time before we're on his channel, you know.
Probably next week. Honestly, next week.
Joseph, this is a cry for help.
Yeah, help us.
Anyway,
okay.
So that's their like big boss monster, Jian. Like that's the one you always want to end your board on, because this card, like, when your opponent's monsters declare an attack, you return one of your banished monsters back to your graveyard, so you just recycle them. You can banish 2 monsters to special summon this card from your graveyard. This card is powerful. You've got the level 6 Synchro Juju. Cannot be destroyed by card effects or by battle if you have 2 or more monsters with the same original type and attribute, but different names in your graveyard, which all of them except for, like I said, half the deck is earth, half the deck is wind, so it's really easy to get that. So a lot of the cards have protection, a lot of the cards have options to protect. I don't know if this deck is going to be groundbreaking or burst into the meta. I don't know if you guys have heard anything.
I literally don't know what they do for the most part. I want to say I heard that they're going to be pretty good, but without looking at the actual cards, and I know I probably should have preemptively, but I didn't know we were doing it today. But that's, I
don't think any of us did.
Yeah, no, but I don't know. I like their art. Like I said, the only complaint I have about them so far, without looking at the cards, is that why aren't they Cybers? But that's super petty, and it's whatever. There's actually, though. Wait, did you have anything to say, Ahmed, about Datascape at all?
Not really. They seem like they're gonna be competent, but they seem hard. They seem like a hard.
Yeah, that's what I kind of.
They seem pretty difficult. Too. And maybe Justin can speak to that because he's the only one who's played it.
Oh yeah. This deck is not just like a straightforward combo deck. It has so many lines you can take. Like, I'd spent maybe an half hour to an hour playing earlier, and I could not figure out like the best end boards, because you can go into any of your Datascape monsters at any given time, whether that be in the main deck, in the extra deck. It's super versatile. The restriction on the main deck monsters for their special summon isn't even that bad. If you special summon them onto the field of their own effect, you can only special summon level or rank 3 or higher monsters for the rest of the turn.
Okay.
But I don't see how that's even a downside, because I can't imagine a time where you're gonna want to summon a level 2 or lower in this deck, because all your exceeds are 3 or 6. Your synchros are all multiples of 3. You got 6 and 9 to like all work together.
Gotcha. I just sounding like it. This is a deck that I probably would never play. I like decks that do one thing and one thing, like, they're very
OTK.
little. Yeah, OTK
going second,
or
blind OTK.
Dude, I don't know. That's been my bread and butter for so long that I just can't find, like, I don't enjoy any other play style, which is also why I hate control. But
There's
that's
nothing
beside the
wrong with
point.
that. I'm just
No,
pointing out that like
it's
that
one of the
is
three
your
pillars of
strategy.
meta. It's at least in MTG, it's control, combo, and aggro. And I have to look at it again, but one beats one beats the other, and one beats the other. But in the terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, combo usually turns into control because they make tons of negates. Uh, but did you have anything else to say about Data Escape? Because I was actually going to talk about another archetype that I'm slightly excited for. That I just remembered is in this set.
Trying to think here. I don't think I have much else to say other than I'm very interested to see where this deck goes because it seems like it's got a really high ceiling, and as we know from decks like Sky Strikers, decks that usually have high ceilings tend to be really strong for a long period of time because they just can figure out ways to adapt to every meta. So I'm interested. Not saying they're going to be the next Strikers. I don't even know if like they can grind the way that Strikers can, but they can. They're definitely capable of a lot. So
Gotcha.
That's a fair way of putting it. I just looked it up, and we're getting Phantom Rage on November 6th of 2020, and I'm like, wow, that's not that far away. That's 4 months away from when we're recording this. Which
yeah,
is crazy because we're getting Rise of the Duelist in a month. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. This year's been very weird, but I mean it's been a very
Yep.
weird year
Yep.
regardless.
they gotta sell product here. They gotta sell product.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
No, but the one archetype that I'm actually slightly excited for is Soten.
Oh, so okay, sure.
Yeah. I don't know them too much. I didn't really play around with them. I just know that and this is when I was experimenting with Tenyi too, or I'm still kind of am. Soten was a option because a lot of their spells and traps, or at least one of them, special summons normal tokens to your side of the field, like literally fills your field with normal tokens. Um, and of course, normal monsters synergize with, or non-effect monsters synergize with Tenyi, but their fusions are pretty all right. Its Gaia of the Soten Fists is okay. If it's special summoned, you get to pop an attack position monster your opponent controls, and then it can attack directly for the rest of the turn, but it only has 2100 attack. But this card has an attack boost. If you fusion summoned it using a Soten effect monster, Soten fusion monsters gain 300 attack and defense. But the one that I'm actually kind of excited for is Gaiun. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Of the Soten Kicks. So it's if a Soten fusion monster would be you control would be destroyed by a card effect. You can destroy one Soten monster you control instead. So with the tokens that synergizes, you can essentially destroy a token instead of itself. But this is the fact that I like. During the main phase, if you control a Soten fusion monster that was fusion summoned using an effect monster as material, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, negate its effects until the end of the turn. So I don't know. I feel like any card with a negate, I know this doesn't destroy afterwards, but any card that can kind of put like let's say they special summon Hulk out or something else, you can just negate. Because a lot of the cards that do have very strong, effects are from the extra deck. I don't know. I feel like it's not going to be super meta. It's just going to be kind of rogue, maybe. But I don't know. I feel like it has some potential.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Again, they don't seem anything crazy, and I haven't read the cards, but they seem fine.
I also see there's some more UA support, and
Yeah,
I mean,
Shane, how long until you play UAs? Like, let's be honest here. How long? Like, I need a time span. It's coming.
I don't know. I thought about it, but I don't know. That was one of the archetypes that actually was a thing before I left the game, and
No, it wasn't.
yeah, UA was. Don't you dare! They had the field spell and everything. It was an archetype. I mean, it wasn't a good archetype.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't a thing. It existed as an archetype, but like,
Yeah.
UAs have never been a thing.
Until they got their negate, and then I don't know. I don't know what the support does. I just saw the name UA. I'm just happy that they're doing some legacy support for some actually kind of more obscure archetypes. But Raid
Yeah,
Raptors,
the
along
new
with the
card
hmm?
I
What?
was gonna say the new card that UA is getting is actually like pretty solid. It's not gonna
Which one?
break them, but like I don't remember. I forgot what it's called.
There's Libero Spiker, Playing Manager.
It's not a monster. It's a spell, I think.
Okay, there's a couple of them. Hyper Stadium and Locker Room,
Okay, I don't
and
know.
MVP, which is a
I don't
trap
remember.
card.
I don't remember. I just know it's
Um,
good.
no, but the other card in this set too that like I mean, kind of Raid Raptor support. Where did I find? Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon, or is this the one that I'm thinking of? No, no, no. What is that? What is that? Arc or the Dark or the XYZ Dragon that essentially just negates the effects of all cards on the field. Or is this?
Couldn't
Yeah,
tell you. I know like
I
the
think it is
cover
this
card of
one.
Phantom Rage is a retrain of Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, but I don't know what either of the cards do.
Oh, okay, it is this card. Um, you rank up to it with the searchable, which is part of the combo, searchable rank up card that is coming out in the set as well. Uh, cannot be X-Way summoned, or this card X-Way cannot be destroyed by card effects. Detach a material. Monsters other than this card cannot attack for the rest of the turn. Also, this card gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all of the face-up monsters on the field. Then, if this card has a Dark XYZ monster as material, negate the effects of all other face-up monsters on the field. And then you can only use this effect. It's a hard once per turn. I mean, it seems
Wow, you
very
just did
susceptible to
something
hand
that no
traps, but
Yu-Gi-Oh player does.
huh?
You just did something that no Yu-Gi-Oh player does.
Read a card.
You read a card.
I know it's a first for me too. But
Oh, we know. We know.
uh, but I don't know. That seems really strong. I mean, of course, you can be negated. It can be impermed. I mean, I get it. It seems good in a vacuum, but it's only good if your opponent has a lot of monsters on the field already. Uh, and it's good for like an OTK strategy. But the thing is, if your opponent has a lot of monsters on the field already, chances are at least two of those monsters have negates ready for this. And a good player would save the negate for this card. Playing against like Raid Raptor or something, but I don't know. Again, I like bad decks, and Raid Raptor is currently not the greatest deck, so I like
Not at all.
it.
It's support that it got like is really good for other decks.
Yeah.
Shane, do you want to talk about prank kids at all?
I really don't know any prank kids. I do know the Meow Meow or whatever, Mew Mew, whatever the hell it is.
Link one.
Yeah, the Link one. I've heard people say that's going to make prank kids tier 1, but I also don't know if they're memeing or not. It
They're
seems really
not.
strong. That it opens up a lot of combo lines for them. At least that's what I've heard. That they didn't have before. A lot of people saying this is what prank kids needed to become meta.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just reading it, like it
Yeah.
lets them gain advantage. That like prank kids don't just tribute themselves. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
And like this literally lets you gain advantage for at least one of your effects.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it say you contribute your opponent's monsters or something?
No.
It says
didn't
you
read the
contribute
card.
this card instead.
Oh,
Or you
okay,
can banish this card instead from
Oh,
your field or
okay.
graveyard.
Gotcha,
So you can literally just create like some pretty good advantage off
Yeah.
of not having to get
Okay.
rid of one of your like tributable monsters.
Gotcha.
It's
I
like
was gonna
only as
say,
good
'cause
as the
it's
other
just like
Oh,
a
sorry.
fucking like layer of darkness where you contribute your opponent's monsters as cost instead of your own. That would be crazy.
Layer of
But
Darkness.
yeah, I have
Prank
heard
Kids
that
Incoming.
the Link one for Prank Kids is pretty solid.
I
Not
mean,
not even
see,
pretty solid, but just like perfect for them.
Yeah.
so in theory, not that you'd be able to get this off, but you'd be able to keep your 3000 3000 attack Link 4 Rip Roar and Roaster by just activating its effect, banishing Meow Meow, destroying all spells and traps your opponent controls, and then just chilling until the next turn.
Yeah.
The Link 4 on board. And that effect live again. It is Lightning Storm for free.
Yeah.
And that's not the situation you're going to use it for, but like that's what this card does. Like kids have like pretty good effects for attributing themselves, and this I'm
which
optimistic.
I like. I mean, I said that I did. I like support for older archetypes. Speaking of support for older archetypes. Oh wait, did you have anything to say about anything
Nope.
more to say about Meow Meow?
Nope.
How do you guys feel about Konami maybe potentially turning penguins into an archetype?
The
I
card is bad.
care.
Yeah.
Card is not good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love Jank, and the penguin cards were some of my favorite cards. And like the way older, like the penguin soldier being is that the one that bounces too? I think once it
Yep.
flips. Yeah, that card was nuts. When in the world of being able to actually target your opponent's boss monsters and not having to deal with negates outside of like Solemns. Um, but I don't know. I just don't think it gets it there. It'd be cool if they turned penguins into a somewhat competent archetype, but I don't think they do anything meta wise.
As far as archetypes getting support, I'm gonna talk about Dragunities now.
Hey,
Let's
my
go.
boy.
So okay, everyone's really happy for me, and it makes me feel like very special and good. So I love you guys. So if you guys listen to our first episode, you'd know that Dragunities are my flesh and blood, and they were, as I put it today, the most fun I've ever had playing a card game. Like touching a cardboard, or touching a piece of cardboard with shiny holographic stuff on it has never felt better, other than when I had Dragunity monsters in my hand. And I have a good bulk of the deck still from when I played it like 6, 7 years ago. Um, and when I saw that they got support like a month and a half ago ish, I was like, cool. But it just didn't seem like what I mean. It was great for the deck. Don't get me wrong, but they still died to Nibiru. And as of last night, they got support in the form of Remus and Legatus. Legatus, which is a free, just level 4 Wing Beast extender if you control a Dragunity monster or Dragon Ravine. And if you have a Dragunity monster, it has to be a monster in your spell and trap card zone. It's just MST. It just destroys a card. So that's cool. But more importantly, they got 3 more copies of Dragon Ravine. What the fuck does that mean? Well, they got Remus, which it's basically just the Gravekeeper's Commandant, where you discard it and you add a Dragon Ravine to your hand. Why is this important? Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Remus also has an effect where if you control a Dragunity monster, you just special summon it from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. And you also can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for dragon monsters, which that's not a big problem for Dragunity, considering they just have only dragons in their extra deck. Anyway, so why is this support good? A, getting 3 more copies of Ravine is awesome, because only having 4 in the form of 3 Ravine and then 1 terraforming, and then if you played set rotation, that's technically 5. But I don't love set rotation.
Yeah, you
But
need to like run a different field spell for that.
Dude,
And
I love set
Exactly.
rotation. I
Yeah.
think set rotation's an unbelievably good card.
So getting 3 more copies of Dragon Ravine is fantastic. However, what this enables is for the deck to finally have an answer to Nibiru before their 5th summon, which combo decks that don't have an answer to Nibiru before their 5th summon are usually just dead in the water once Nibiru hits. Adamancipator can play through it. Certain Jet Synchron, Needle Fiber decks can play through it. Usually, sometimes it's fine. Dragunity is one of those decks that cannot. So, this thing gets Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon out on its 5th summon by using Remus to discard itself for a Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine discarding another card to add Legatus. Legatus special summoning itself because you control Dragon Ravine. Remus special summoning itself because you control a Dragunity monster. Synchro summoning those into Gaydirg. Gaydirg activating and sending Miss Valley Baby Rock, or adding it to the hand and then discarding it. And then Baby Rock activates, special summoning itself. This is your 4th summon. You have a level 6 and a level 2 tuner, and you go into Crystal Wing Synchro, and now you can just combo off. This doesn't even eat your normal summon. This combo does not even eat your normal summon, and you still have a bunch of cards left in your hand. It's amazing. So I was just super hyped when I saw this support last night. I went and I impulsively bought a bunch of the Dragunity cards that I needed. And I don't know, I'm just really excited about it, because I think that this could push Dragunity over the edge of being a rogue combo deck. that just dies to the Nibiru or just other hand traps. So just having an extender, a winged beast extender, mind you, that just special summons itself, that also has MST in its effect is awesome. Getting 3 more copies of Terraforming that also special summon themselves is awesome. And there sure might be more cards in this structure deck that we don't know yet, but the reprints are looking good. I went and bought some max rarity Dragunity stuff last night and today, and I don't know, I'm just really excited about it because there've been a lot of new cards and new set reveals and everything, and like, you know, it's fun, it's exciting. New Yu-Gi-Oh is always exciting, but then when it like really hits home, when it's something that you're really passionate about in this game, it's just like nothing else. Because Dragunity are my favorite deck that I've ever played in any game ever.
I'm so happy for you, by the way.
Thank you,
It's like
Shane.
so happy. When I
Thank
read those 2 cards, because I did earlier today, I was like, so he gets a terraforming and a free
3
extender. Yeah. Oh my god. The only
a
thing that I see wrong with
terraforming. Wait. A terraforming that special summons itself.
That actually brings me to something I really quickly just want to like see if you guys agree with. But Konami's been seemingly doing stuff like this a lot. This new card reminds me a lot of when they announced Mech Knight Girsu, which was just a card to essentially replace a card that was being run just because it could like send a card for Orcists.
Yeah.
And
It's their in archetype scrap recycler.
yeah,
And
exactly.
Scrap Recycler.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's just consistency boost.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like Konami, in my opinion, recently has been doing a really good job of like looking at an archetype and actually thinking like, what could we give this that it needs? And they're still gonna. It's Konami. They're still gonna get more misses than hits, but
Oh god, yeah.
they've been getting hits. They've been getting hits.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just some of the support they've released recently has just been like weirdly perfect.
Exactly. And that gives me hope for future archetypes, especially since in the last structure deck pull, not like the last one, where what one, cyber style or ice
Ice
barrier.
barriers.
Yeah. The one before that, I think it wasn't it Shadal, that one, and then Shadal got a structure deck. But I think they promised that every archetype on that pull was going to get support in some
Correct.
form or fashion.
Yes.
And Trains was on that list, and I'm really hoping that the Machina cards and oh god, the Landscaper Goldilocks are not the cards that they promised for that. I still, regardless of any support, unless they absolutely release like a slew of really good support cards, I don't think Trains will do anything meta. But no, you're right, and I have a feeling that has to do with interest in the game being at like almost an all-time low. That if they release support for a lot of old beloved archetypes that actually makes the deck good, it's going to bring back players and get players happy and everything. And I don't know. I think it's a smart way to do it because I'm not going to complain about the fact that, you know, old decks become viable again.
I agree. I just like that you say that after my example is Mech Knight Girsu for Orcists. Like, ah man, they're really giving support to an old archetype. Orcists, they've been gone for what, 6 months? Damn.
Well, I mean, think about when they came out, though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it's like I agree with you. I think this is a really good way. And we talked about it, I believe, in the last episode. Like, right now there's just not a lot of incentive to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is a good reason to get back into it. Like
Exactly.
players like you, Ahmed, who have really fond memories of Dragunities, might hear from their friends who never left the community, like, oh, this deck is great now. They just got like exactly what they needed. Like that's gonna draw players back in. So I like that.
No, I do too. I think that's a very good move for them to do going forward.
Dude, if Konami knows how to do something, it's nostalgia bait.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Nostalgia bait. Oh, we put Dark Magician in the set. Come buy it. Oh, we put blue eyes in this set. Come buy it.
Exactly.
Oh, they're getting gold rares. Shut up.
Oh, yep.
Along with some Necroval or some Gravekeeper cards, because those
Oh,
were in the
yep.
league too.
Yep. The quote unquote leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool that they do that. Legacy support is one of my favorite things that
Yeah.
that any company can do, really, in terms of games. Anyway, I don't
Because
want.
it's essentially acknowledging that, hey, you players, we acknowledge you. You're out there. Here's some support.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like there's something else I wanted to say about it, but I don't believe so.
There's a counter thing to that, and that's when they release
I think
support
oh,
that accidentally like legacy supports a deck. That sucks.
Oh wait,
Sometimes
never
that
mind.
sucks.
I do remember what I wanted to say.
yeah.
What are you gonna say?
They did a really good job with it with Thunder Dragon.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
But
Really?
design an
Actually,
entirely
yes.
new.
Granted, yeah, that
Okay,
was
so
more of
new.
like an
Oh, sorry.
archetype around it. But I agree. Like
Right?
anyone
Yeah.
who knew the card existed back then would honestly be excited to see like, wow, this card that used to just be nothing
Discard itself. Yeah.
is now a
Just
tier
as like a deck
one
spinner. Yeah.
like strategy that locks down an entire meta. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So in that vein, is there any card or strategy that you want to see get some legacy support, or like just like literally just a single card like Thunder Dragon
Card.
turned into an
Ooh.
entire archetype?
I know. Serpent Knight Dragon.
Yes, dude.
Dude, that card is beautiful.
It
Oh
really
my
is.
god. Serpent Knight Dragon is a gorgeous card. And I'm actually rewatching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters anime right now, and I just got to the part where Rex Raptor summons Serpent Knight Dragon versus Joey. And I remember I had a copy of it from, I think, what was it, LOB was it released in? Either LOB or Magic Ruler, or Metal Raiders, I mean. I forget. But I think I traded it for a Trihorn Dragon from LOB, which, like, that's a fair trade. An old vanilla for another old vanilla, both of which are very pretty. But yeah, dude, Serpent Knight Dragon, I don't know what they could do with it because I don't know. But I think that'd be cool. It's such a cool card. It's so pretty, and the colors on it are gorgeous. And it's just a classic card. That they could
So
do
one of my favorite cards growing up was Celtic Warrior, like the vanilla
Nice.
1400
something.
attack.
Celtic Guardian.
Celtic Guardian, you're right. Celtic Guardian. My fucking favorite card, and I
Is it
mispronounced it.
Celtic?
Anyways,
Is it Celtic or Celtic?
it is supposed to be Celtic, I think,
Okay.
right?
I don't know. I always mix them up. I have
Yeah,
Irish.
no,
I think
because
it's Celtic.
it's Celtic. The Boston Celtics were supposed to be the Boston Celtics, but Celtics sounds better, I guess. I don't know, but it is Celtic. Celtic Guardian. I don't know. I just think like an archetype based around like old Irish, Gaelic, you know, like actual warrior stuff would be so cool. Like fairies and shit. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Can you guys help me remember the name of the card? It was like a fire samurai, and there was like a number 1 and number 2. You
Flame
know what I'm talking about?
Swordsman? No, oh no, that's literally Flame Swordsman 1 and 2.
No, because I don't think those cards exist because I just tried to search them. And Flame
Fire.
Swordsman is like the
No,
one
no,
with
you're
the
right. You're right.
big ol' sword. But what is
Flame
its
Warrior,
name?
maybe?
Maybe. But do you know what card I'm talking about?
I know exactly because it's 1 and 2. Yep.
It's like a burning samurai with like a flaming sword. An
Oh!
Yeah.
archetype around that would be incredible. I would love the
on.
shit out of that. I can't think of his name. I thought it was Flame Swordsman 1 and 2, but it's not.
I'm in Edo Pro trying to find it.
Thank you. It's definitely a pyro monster. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like Dark Flame Swordsman or something.
Darkfire Soldier. What was it? It's a vanilla or no?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check. Yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a vanilla monster. It's just 2 vanilla monsters that are just like burning samurai.
Yeah, literally the only difference between the two is 50 defense points. between one and
like,
two.
I don't know. I just think having like an entire archetype based around like these weird cards, and Konami's been good about doing that recently, honestly.
Yeah.
But like just an archetype based around the, like dark fire soldiers, like I don't know. I think it'd be really really cool.
I don't know. I want a thematic fire archetype that's like, and I know this is a very very slippery slope to walk because anytime there is a good burn deck in the format, it's almost degenerate, or almost
Sorry,
every time it is
sorry,
degenerate.
sorry.
But I want like an in archetype fire attribute, maybe a pyro type like burn deck, like straight up.
200.
Hmm?
Does it take 200?
Take 200? What?
He doesn't know.
You don't know. It's the effects that anytime you play against a single Trickstar player, you'll activate a card that's like take 200.
Oh.
You act like you would like anything you do. That I don't know. Like a thematic burn deck is pretty much what Trickstars are, and it's not fun. It's not fun.
Okay, so maybe I was a little bit off, but
Burn strategies are not fun.
I can see that. Like
Well,
I
they're fun
said,
to play. They're actually fun to play, but like they're
Yeah.
horrible to play against. Worse than control strategies because you force your opponent to play on like a life bar, like an actual like resource bar. They have to manage their own life points, but you could also just like fucking attack them.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
yeah.
like I love Arrow Mage as like a Row Mage as a deck design. It kind of sucks that they're a little bad. They have like a lock with like this
A little bad.
They're a lot bad. But no, there's a card that's kind of like what I'm talking about. Queen of Thorns, a level 6 synchro, and this is what I mean. Like a kind of and I know I said I hate control decks, but like a fire controlling kind of burn deck. But this card's effect is each player must pay 1,000 life points for each monster, normal or special summoned from their hand, except for plant type monsters. Like if your opponent has to like play around that, that'd be so cool. Well, not cool. It'd be degenerate, but I don't know. I just want a good fire archetype, but I guess that's what Infernoble Knights are.
Kinda, yeah.
Guys, got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I've kind of exhausted my
We talked about everything that we wanted to. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
um
Hmm?
no, I don't have anything else, sorry.
No, you're good. So am I signing it out? Did anyone have anything? I know Justin, you just said Ahmad, you didn't really have anything, right?
Well, have fun playing the Sacred Beast structure decks, guys.
Okay, unironically.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, they die to a hand. You already played decks that die to a hand trap.
Yeah.
Don't play another.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Ash Blossom, Imperm, like you can't
Moonlit
play.
Chill, Effect Veiler. Pretty much
Actually,
all
that
of
is
them.
one last. That is one thing I do want to talk about. It seems like we're in a very hand trap meta right now.
Yeah,
Like,
we are.
more than like even when I started playing and people talked about like everyone was running like 9 Ghost Girls. Like the current meta is pretty hand trappy.
Yeah.
Ahmed, do you remember when the only hand traps you had to worry about were Max C, Effect Veiler, and occasionally Honest?
Yep.
Those, like back in the day, that like Honest was the only hand trap, and then Effect Veiler, Max C was. When did Max C come? I don't know. Regardless, then Effect Veiler came out, and everyone. How much did Effect Veiler used to be? It used to be like an incredibly expensive card.
Depending on the rarity you got.
No, I mean like when it first came out.
I don't know. I didn't play when it first came out.
Yeah, we did. It first came out in like I want to say after
I think
Dragon
it came
Ruler
out in
format.
Duelist No. Effect Veiler came out in Duelist Revolution. Dragon Rulers came out in Legacy of the Tech or Legend of the. Is it Legacy of the Tachyon Galaxy or Legend of the Tachyon Galaxy? But yeah, Effect Veiler came out in
Yeah.
Duelist Revolution, which was before we started playing.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
But yeah,
Shane.
but those were like the only 3 hand traps that you really had to worry about.
Yes.
Now,
last thing.
Hmm?
Oh, finish your point, and then I have one last thing.
Just gonna say now it's like everything. That was pretty much my point.
In one sentence, and then we're signing out.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Maxi?
Banned.
Banned. It has to stay banned for the health of the game.
That was like
because-
8 words.
Yeah.
The OCG has a different.
Do we not want to explain
story to
why it needs to
tell.
be banned? Besides, like in case anyone
people,
doesn't know.
people can. It's a pretty black and white argument. It's a pretty black and white argument.
Is there? Do you think
Wait,
there's
Justin
any
didn't
way?
say what he thinks. Justin didn't say what he thinks.
Okay, sorry.
One word.
I think the OCG has a lot to
One
teach
word.
them. No, I said one sentence.
You said? Didn't you say one word?
No, you said
No,
one
I said
sentence.
one sentence.
Oh, okay. Well, banned.
I say the OCG.
Okay.
They have a lot to learn.
Do
that
you think
case,
there's
me
any
screaming
feasible way?
Is negated. Sorry for yelling at you for saying more than one word.
No, you're good.
'Cause
I was
thought
gonna call
Justin
you
said
on it, but
say one word.
I'm a good person, so I didn't.
Anyway, I think that's a pretty good place to call it here.
Well, I had a question, but I mean we can leave it if you want, because this is getting kind of long too. I was gonna ask if there's any feasible way to balance Maxi, but then I remembered Shared Ride as a card, and that's pretty alright.
You can say everything you want about balancing Max C. Like, you can call it by the grave it. You can ash it. You can whatever it.
Oh
Just
no,
because a card has counterplay does not mean it's not broken. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Maxi.
okay. I wasn't talking about like in terms of counterplay. I'm just saying in terms of actually like eradicating the effect or making a card that's similar but actually balanced. And that's what I meant by Shared Ride. Shared Ride is a similar card, sorta, kinda. But it's not as good. Nothing will be as good as Maxi, and that's why it deserves to be banned. But any thoughts on that? Because then we actually should call it.
Yeah, I'm good to be done.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Table 501 Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.